Sending files, watching your favorite shows, adjusting your smart thermostat, calling mom. There's so much you can do today. It's amazing. But how do you manage all that new technology? Armstrong gives you control of your home network and all the entertainment that makes your world go round. If you need help, we're easy to reach for support too, by phone, web, or at our service locations. Armstrong is here to make everything work for you. Armstrong, life made easy.
Hi, and welcome to Brush Tips with Cheri. Today's awesome painting is trees and the sun, and we're going to call it the world above. So this perspective of this painting is like you're laying down on the ground looking up, or you just stop and you look up in the woods. Just take a nice deep breath and admire all the trees. So that's what this is. And today our painting colors are pretty easy. They are black and white. So we have black and we have white. And then we also have our brushes. We have 3 different size brushes here. We have this big guy right here. He is the one who does all the work in the background. And then we also have this medium one and then this small one. So we're going to use this big daddy brush right here and we're going to start. So for those of you who have been watching us for a long time, know this little trick. We are going to take a little bit of white and take a little tiny little bit of black. Let's make a real light gray, super light gray, because we want our moon to be bright, okay? And I want you to start with the moon. So we're going to start with a circle. And don't touch your canvas until you feel like you have a good circle going. Once you feel like you have a good circular motion going, go ahead and touch your canvas. And you get an amazing circle. And then fill all that in. You can grab some white and just start filling it in. You can round out this moon. I am standing at an angle. Let me see if I can get this round without standing in front of you. There we go. Perfect. I love it. Love it, love it. Okay. So I know it's kind of hard to see on the camera, but it's there. So we should all have a nice round white moon. Then I want you to just take some white and some black and mix that together. We're just going to make different shades of gray. So you could start here and just start going around and around. And that's what we're going to do. Do you see that I'm not lifting my brush? If you have to, you can lift your brush. But if you are able to, keep your brush on your canvas, okay? And then I want you to just keep building from there. Wet your brush, grab some white, grab some black, mix those together. And just keep building. There we go, perfect. All the way around. You can grab just some white too and run some white streaks through there, if that's what makes you happy. just nice and big and round. And just keep building from there. If you're getting bored with that inner part, just bring some black over here. Start adding a little bit darker colors. Don't forget your sides. We never ever want to forget our sides, because when they're hanging up on a wall, we don't have a frame around them, then we won't see all the white. So like this has white around it, and if we hang it up, then it'll be nice and colorful. I'm excited about this painting. The other day, my dear friend was out hiking. Her name is Heather, and she posted this picture of her looking up at the trees. And I thought, man, that would be a really great painting. So last night I was sitting there and I thought, oh, I got to paint a painting for tomorrow, or pick one. I better go paint one real quick. So I ran over, grabbed a canvas, and I painted that up in the time it took my husband to eat a quesadilla. That's his post this morning. He was laughing about it. He was like, you just whipped that right up. I'm like, yes, I did. So this was actually local. I believe it was at Firestone Park in Akron is where this was. This picture was taken. So it's nice to have some local stuff. And then everyone can have a lot of nice local paintings if you guys send me paintings to paint. So outdoor stuff like this, we'll get some painted up, and then everyone will have some really nice outdoorsy things of the locals places. Just keep going, nice and round, nice and big. Get it done. Now the trick with this painting is it's all in the angle of the trees and your perspective on how you look at it. So if you're looking at it like it's just like a forest, you have to really think like, okay, I'm looking up at it. And then it sets it into like a whole different dimensional aspect of the painting. My artist brain has all of these words that I'm trying to describe it, and I just can't get them out for you right now. So make sure you hit your side. I think I better go a little bit darker over here. Hopefully I get it. You know, sometimes I don't. Well, that's okay. That's okay too. Our friends at home are getting it, so. Okay. Then just keep building. Now, this is a little tricky down here, so you might want to turn your painting. You can definitely, oh, look at, I didn't even do my top. What kind of artist am I? When people are in doing classes, I'm always like, don't forget your sides, don't forget your top, don't forget your sides, don't forget your top. It's so funny. Just gonna add some more darkness here. And I'm gonna play around over here. Perfect. Awesomeness, love it. And just keep feathering it out. Feather, feather. Hey, Heather Feather, we're painting your painting today. And yes, I'm allowed to call her that. Literally been friends for 28 years. I'm allowed to call her Feather. All right. Perfect. I love it. Love it, love it. Oh, let me hit this bottom. I'm going to sneak over here and I'm going to hit this bottom part. Get that done and out of the way. Since I'm not real good at remembering it, right? Well, maybe somebody wants this painting. Maybe somebody will be like, hey, can I have that painting? And the bottom will be all done, and then they'll be super happy. How's this looking so far, friends? All right. So our moon needs a little bit more reshaping. And I'm just going to sneak right here. I didn't do any of this side right here. Get it together, girl. Get it together. All right. Perfect. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. Just keep feathering it through. Oops, I got a little bit of black on there. That's all right. Clean off this brush real good. And then what I'm going to do is just run some white. Take some black and go right over it. I want to add some darker streaks here. Perfect. At first when I started this, I wasn't going to make it around. I was just going to do the moon around and then like do a bunch of like feathered parts in there, real sloppy. Then I started doing the circle and thought, oh my gosh, this looks so good. I'm going to leave it like this. Let me just add some darkness, because see how dark that one is over there? We want that dark so our trees pop. Oops, we got a little dot there. That's okay. All right, perfect. Okay, rinse off my brush. I'm gonna rinse off my brush. I'm gonna bring back my moon, make it a little bit more round. Did you guys hear that water? Sorry. All right, here we go. Let's grab some of this white. If you need to use tools to make things super round, feel free. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Art is full of lots of different material. And if you need to use a ruler to make a straight line, or you need to use a compass or a protractor, please do that. Or even a lid to a Tupperware container. If that's what's going to give you the perfect round circle, please use it. We want these to turn out super awesome, and I want you to love them. So it's important that you use different tools to help you create. And remember, there's no bad creations, okay? It's only good creations, because any creation is an amazing creation. It's definitely important that you remember that when you're creating. Sometimes I get pretty down on myself when I am painting, because I don't, number one, don't trust the process, and number two, I doubt myself, and I listen to a lot of the great lies I have playing in my head. I'm sure everyone can relate. So that's going to make a sweet little glow around here. Throw some glowing in there. Then we got to dry this guy. Okay, let's dry it. So, it is pretty dry. Down here is pretty wet. Our moon is pretty dry. You can always tell when your paint is still wet by looking at your canvas if it's shiny. So if your paint is shiny, you are still wet. So you can take a break. You can go feed your dog a snack. Maybe make a cup of coffee. You know, check out our Facebook posts. All kinds of fun things. But let yours dry. You hear that canvas? It's so loose. Here's another little trick. If you ever get a loose canvas like this, see how loose it is? Just go and flip it over and run it under water. If you soak it with water all the way through, it's gonna tighten up. So that's another really good trick. And if you don't like what you're doing on a canvas, go wash it off. So if I went to a sink right now and I started rinsing this with water, it's all gonna come off. There might be a little bit of black or like a little bit of gray, but it'll almost give you a fresh canvas. And you can just paint white over it and start brand new. So remember those things. Don't get discouraged. Just take the time and clean your canvas. This is so loud. I don't know if you guys can all hear it, but it is loud. All right. Dry, dry, dry. Let it dry. Let it dry. I know I suck at singing, stink at singing. Oops. All right, perfect. Mine is a little bit wet, but I'm not going to push real hard with my brush. Of course, if it was all the way dry, I would do, push a little bit harder, but it's not, and that's okay. I'm going to grab this medium brush guy right here. And I'm going to start off with just some white. You could pull a little bit of black over into it, whatever you want. And now I start off with a full brush, then I twist it halfway through and bring it skinnier. Now on this one, I don't like that they all go up like covering the moon. I feel like I don't want to cover the moon so much, so I'm not going to do that here, okay? But I want you to come in at an angle. And don't forget about your side like me. So we're coming in at angles. We're going to pull some black over, make a little bit of gray. And you can also make, remember this is looking up. All right, perfect. Now remember, trees are like cursive writing. If you know how to write in cursive, or you just keep flowing, just go with the flow. Don't pick your brush up. We're not making, zigzag lines or anything. Just be real patient with your painting here and just go slow. Did I already have that hanging and I just did it again? Sometimes trees overlap in the forest, and that's okay too. You can overlap them for sure. Okay, let's add a good size one right here. We'll bring this guy almost all the way up. Now I know a lot of people had suggested that I add like a cardinal to this or some kind of birds. When you're looking up, the bird is on top of the branches, you aren't going to see the bird. So I cannot add birds to this. So I apologize to everyone who made the suggestion. I wish I could, but it just wouldn't look right. Okay, let's go this way. Let's make a little small one here. Go this way with this guy. All right. How about we go kind of crooked with him? I liked how I made that one crooked, so I thought I would make this one crooked too. Let's move this guy down. I feel like I need to bring in a couple more from over here. Maybe one from over here. Let's pull one from here. Let's just get these bases on. How about that? And then I'll worry about where the branches go. Thicken up and then go thinner. Thick, then thin if you need to, feel free to flip it over. Do not feel like you can't flip this over. If you flip it over, great. If not, that's great too. Perfect. I love birch trees. I love making trees, and they're super fun and great, and they always turn out awesome. So keep that in mind when you're doing trees. They're just fun to do. It's nice to just have that. Ooh, look how pretty that one is. Let's do this one. Let's add a branch here, but then let's come in with the black and kind of touch it up. Now you can use a really, really fine brush. We'll switch to this other little brush right here. And just kind of outline the outsides. Throw on a nice little tree branch. Do this one. Here we go. Here's a fun one right here. You can even just make some shadows of. You like my sound effects? I'm like. Okay, I'm sure you guys are at home like, this chick is so weird sometimes. Like, we never know what's going to happen. Never know. It's a good time, though. It's always a good time here. Painting, getting fun stuff done. I like to make my branches a little darker because they're kind of thinner, and I can even add some white, make some of them real bold white. Looks super awesome. Love it, love it, love it. And then what I did here too was I just kind of like made, I wanted to look like there's pine trees too, but I was nervous about going real high with them. So I just kind of scribbled a little bit on my canvas. If you can see, they have to stay real thin because it's a pine tree, the very top of a pine tree, so it needs to be real thin once you get to the top there. And you can even just add a couple leaves to some of these, you know. Just like maybe it's almost fall, nice fall moon, or it's spring and we're just getting the little buds on the trees, and a nice big spring moon. I just like to add a little bit of like scribble. It's almost like scribble, it is. Then, whoosh, let's flip this guy over. And let's do a couple little things here. Couple here. Do some highlighting of these trees with some black. Play here, play here. Perfect. I'm loving it. You know, and of course at home this is going to take you a little bit longer, and that's okay. You want it to take longer. You want to take your time. You don't want to have to rush through paintings. I want you to make your masterpiece super awesome the way that you want. Create it the way that you want. Be proud of your work. And even if you're feeling kind of down on yourself about your painting, just post it on Facebook. Your friends will all love it. Trust me, I do it all the time. I always post it on Facebook and people always like it. Sometimes I get people who tell me like, that's what you should do to it, and that's cool too. I love those. I love that advice because sometimes I just can't see. Like, I felt like this one was missing something. And I think it's just because I only use 2 colors, honestly. I just feel like I only use 2 colors. I should do more. I should, you know. And then let's do a couple little guys here. Fun little scribbly pines. I love these like real long skinny ones here that I was doing over there. And just kind of brush them down. Can even grab some white, throw some white on there. Same here. Come in at an angle. You can just add some scribbles to add some texture to some of the trees. Oh, let's outline that guy in black. There we go. How's this looking? Pretty good? It's not the best masterpiece, but it's still working, right? That's doing good. And once you take your time and you kind of put into perspective on the different dimensions of how you're looking up at the trees, you can even, you know, just Google a nice painting of looking up at trees, and don't forget to take a step back. Take a step back and look at it. It's okay to take a step back and look at it. Here we go. Let's do these last couple finishing touches here. And then we're going to do what all super awesome artists like you do. We're going to clean off this brush. Oh my gosh, it does look good. I'm digging it. I like it. It looks good. It looks good. It looks like we're laying down looking up at it. So grab some of your white in your little tiny brush. And this is what I want you to do. I want you to own your masterpiece. I want you to be proud of your work, and I want you to say, look at my creation. I created this. And I want you to take it and just sign your initials down here. I've got some right there. And voila! We have a perfect painting. So thank you all for watching, and we look forward to painting with you again.
Armstrong Local Programming has always delivered an exclusive and unique perspective on the very best events your region offers. High school sports, community events, parades, all your favorite shows from Armstrong are now calling the Neighborhood Channel their home.
Watch Cat Chat and many other great local shows and events right here on Armstrong's Neighborhood Channel.
Find out everything that the Neighborhood Channel has to offer at ArmstrongNeighborhood.com. Spirit, town pride, local communities. Welcome to the neighborhood.